You know you got a good gas can when it's the spark plug with a rag as the spout top. We got a customer states Husqvarna chainsaw has low compression. And I did the old let the saw fall down on its own, and it seems very, very light on compression. A few things we're going to check. Apparently, he said some guy put a new piston and jug on this thing. Who knows if that's true or not. We're going to try to tear into it. We're going to check that decompression valve. He also gave me a new one. They suspected that. So that could be goofy. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over. I'll pull it over and I'll spray soapy water around that decompressing valve and see if it bubbles up, and that tells us maybe there's a leak there. I'm also going to pull the muffler off and look at the piston rings and see if it's scored up at all, and then I'll also see if the cylinder and piston look fresh as that guy had stated. So this is a 365 Husqvarna. It's been sitting here for a while. It's my neighbor's, and probably should get it looked at eventually before too long. So I'm going to get a few tools, and then I will turn the camera back on when I kind of learn a little bit more here what's going on. So the Husqvarna chainsaw here, he said it had no compression. I really wanted to take the exhaust off on these 2 cycles so you can look at the piston rings and the cylinder. Well, somebody did me a favor, and I think there's Allen head bolts in there to strip them all out. They rounded the heads right off of them. So I'd have to pound a torque socket or one of those specialty extractors. Mm-hmm. So I couldn't go that route. I could look through the spark plug hole. I could tell that the piston was definitely new. The jug looks new. I looked at the intake boot and everything else. The base gasket looked like it was there. He sent me along one of those decomp plugs or decompression valves. And I put, so for some reason the new one I put in doesn't stick like it should though. Like this one doesn't really do anything. So I don't know what's up with that. It doesn't pull over that hard to begin with anyways, so it's not like it's a big deal. So I put a new one of them in there. It was like a 13mm socket. Spark plug is a Chinese plug that came with it. I'm not going to change it because that's what he gave me. I would like to see like a BPMR 7A NGK or a Bosch style plug. Just going to put this cover back on, and then I'll put the air filter on. But it did run. Like, it fired right up.
Sounded good.
I just dumped the gas out because it looked like it was piss. Just piss yellow. So I dumped the gas and I put, our gas in it. And I just want to see how it would run with the air cleaner on, and I'll just the idle was a little fast. It wasn't spinning the clutch yet, but it was a little bit faster than what you want to see. So we'll just spin this back on. It just sucks I couldn't look at the rings through the muffler. I like to take the muffler off on these. I don't know, I'm going to get tighter here. Oh, here we go. So I just got to get that tightened back down. I looked in the tank. The fuel filter looked pretty good, and the line wasn't all nasty. So I left that as is. Other than that, I'm just going to put the air cleaner back on, and hopefully, I think these carburetors, they just kind of sit on there. So they're kind of just suspended in place. But once it was running, it seemed to run okay. So that kind of sits down in there, and then that goes something like that. I believe so. Yep, just like that. Air filter's not too bad. So now at least we can run it, see what it sounds like now.
With the air filter on.
Right, with the air cleaner on. You always want to run these saws with the air cleaner on. They're a completely different animal when they have the air cleaner off. They don't sound as good. You're going to hear some weird noise too. It actually, this muffles the sound so much that you wouldn't even believe. Let's see. But like I said, you can. It doesn't have a lot of compression, but it's a brand new jug, so you have to break the rings in and stuff. You're not going to have that amazing compression right off the bat. So just see if it'll start now. So yeah,
well,
like
that bar is definitely lubing good. I mean, you can see it drop on the ground.
So what I mean about four-stroking is when you're revving it at full throttle there, no load, it should hear it go bop, 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 bop. That's it hitting fuel in the top end. It's got a lot of fuel, which is good. The worst thing you can do is make, when they sound good, they're too lean. That's what I've learned from the steel guys. If they sound really zippy and ying 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 ying, you're gonna be rebuilding it soon. It's gonna be scored. You want them just to sound like that a little bit. I was just gonna skosh down the idle just a tick. It actually is tuned. Whoever tuned it or whatever actually sounds pretty good. I'm enough where I wouldn't want to fuck with it. Trying to break those rings in. Now it's getting the cloth thinner. This is the saw that leaked bar oil all around the shop. I mean,
I'm not talking about a little amount. I'm talking about a puddle.
No wonder he gave it to me tipped on its side. He knew better. Yeah, he got me good.
Oh, that'd be good.
She's mint.
Turn the idle just a skosh. It's
Yeah,
a
it's
little
got like
bit.
it's not engaging the clutch, but like I said, it's just
so hard to get at those screws when it's running and vibrating so bad.
well. This one, it's like spring loaded. Just a skosh, you know. But she actually runs. If it's a Chinese jug, which I'm assuming it is,
Right.
it actually runs.
I feel better.
The real test will
dormant.
be
Saw on a few
tomorrow when
logs.
it's cold.
That too.
I'm just gonna top her off with some gas. Shake her up real good. Oh, pretty much used everything in here, but we'll just use it up. I'll have to mix some more fresh 2-cycle up.
Yeah, it's okay.
You know you got a good gas can when it's the spark plug with a rag as the spout top. And you know, this is the one that has oil with an old chalk marker in it.
Oh, that's got oil on it.
With an exclamation point. Oil.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you really did to this thing, right?
I put a decom valve in it, which I don't even know
Think
if it
it
was
really
really
needed.
leaking.
Right?
This one definitely doesn't work, like, at all, but it's not really leaking anything. I just kind of gave it a
Besides
bit.
bar.
It leaks bar lube, yeah. I don't know. If I could get the muffler off, I could have looked and seen if they like snagged a ring or something. But like I said, a brand new top end does not have compression right away.
Right.
You know, you have to break the rings.
Yep.
In.
Seat those rings in, right?
Yeah. You know, it's gonna have. It should have obviously more than 0.
Right.
But you're not gonna have 120 or whatever right off the rip. So hopefully, when I break it, you know, alternating it and we put it through some load, light load, it should be fine. So.
Right.
That concludes this episode of Customer States Low Compression. So